Hi, I'm Jerry Springer, and this is Kendra Simpkins, who is the founder of the organization called Operation Warrior Resolution. And it has to do with giving help to our veterans who come back not necessarily with the wounds that you see. This isn't about seeing a veteran who's on crutches or a veteran with a brace or anything or in a wheelchair. These are the veterans who come back, many of whom have some kind of post-traumatic stress disorder, some kind of mental issue that isn't visible. And your organization really helps with it. Kendra, why don't you kind of tell us about how you founded it and what it does?
Yes, thank you, Jerry. I'm a U.S. Army veteran, and I was honorably discharged in 2010 with a service-connected injury, one of those invisible wounds of war that you hear about. And I searched for treatment through the VA, which wasn't useful, so I had to go outside the VA, and I thankfully found my journey to recovery and then became a clinical social worker. So I spent the last several years dedicated to working with veterans and finding out what truly works for them, what truly is making an impact on the trauma that they're dealing with. And then that's how Operation Warrior Resolution was created.
What worked for you? I mean, because I didn't even know this. I didn't realize that you would come back with some kind of, I knew you were a veteran, and again, thanks for your service. But, what were you dealing with, and how does what you're suggesting help?
Well, I was dealing with a lot of mental health issues, and what's currently being offered for veterans for treatment is a form of talk therapy, which only targets the cognitive brain. And what's truly needed is therapies that actually target the emotional brain and the limbic system, where the disturbance is coming from. And that's through holistic type of treatments that involve both the body and mind, because trauma is stored in the body. And I found the treatment rapid resolution therapy, which is a short-term treatment that quickly eliminates emotional disturbances. Because
and what do you do with that? What is that? When you say those words, rapid resolution recovery, what do you do? In other words, if someone's watching now, and we're going to ask you to help out and contribute, etc., but if a veteran gets involved in this program, what's that like? What is that veteran going to have to do?
They go through 1 to 2 sessions of rapid resolution therapy. So they meet with a therapist or a practitioner of RRT, and the practitioner facilitates the session, and they take them through different types of techniques, which is targeted to get the brain to process information differently, basically to clear the imprint that the trauma has on the brain. And so they do it by different techniques that actually are painless and gentle, but it's very different than what's being provided currently for them in that they have to constantly talk about the trauma and relive the experience, which is harmful, and it's not very effective. So actually this is a completely opposite approach, which is actually causing even more of an effect.
So is this something that they do? Do they come into a certain place? Do they then spend a weekend there? Do you guys go on retreats? What do you do?
Yes, well, we have RRT practitioners all around the U.S. So if there's a veteran anywhere who needs this service, immediately they can receive sessions free of cost. And we also do provide retreats. We have a weekend retreat that actually incorporates RRT along with other holistic methods that involve healing the mind and the body, where actually the trauma is stored. And we do that through equine therapy with Code Horse program, where they use the horses to connect and self-regulate. Also, I do the trauma-informed yoga. We have acupuncture, massage therapy, and other body work that has been shown to be effective with treating what the veterans are dealing with.
Now, you've already done some of this, right?
Correct.
And you've seen results? I mean, do the people keep coming back? Do they, what has your interaction with them been after they've been to one of the retreats for a weekend or whatever?
Well, thank you. We've actually been doing several retreats in the last year, and the effect of it has been tremendous. Veterans have been going through the program, and then they'll come back and say, like just last month we had 4th of July, and this veteran reported to me that he was standing there in front of the fireworks that were going off and talking to his wife, and his wife pointed out that he wasn't even having a reaction. And then he noticed, like, oh my gosh, I used to have to hide to where I couldn't even hear the fireworks.
Wow.
Another veteran told me who 6 months ago received RRT that he no longer has nightmares, and that was after 1 session. So being able to provide the retreats, we can provide all of these methods that are causing such a tremendous impact. And all of the veterans come out and they feel cleared, like they're no longer having to relive events. And that so when they're no longer physically reacting to what had happened, then all of the tremendous resources that veterans have and this resilience and power that they have having gone through the military, they can then apply that to moving forward in life.
I love the passion with which you speak. I mean, first of all, you have given something to this country by serving in the military, serving in the Army, you said. And then you come back and have issues yourself. And once again, you're giving back, but this time to the people that have served our country. Mm-hmm. I have to say, as a civilian, that we pay a lot of lip service to veterans. You know, we cheer them during a seventh inning stretch after playing God Bless America, and we cheer them at the parade, and every time we see someone in uniform, we say thank you for your service. But it almost gets to the point like saying to someone, hey, have a nice day. You know, it's almost flippant. It's sincere, but flippant, and then we get on with our life. But some of these veterans, it's very difficult to get on with their life because they're dealing with this every day, and it's not visible. It's just mental. It's when they get up in the morning, or when, as you said, they could be at some parade and something just, you know, snaps and turns it on. So what you're doing is very useful, and let's now tell people how they can help. And we really should help. This is not a difficult thing to do. How can we help?
Thank you very much, because you're right. There's so many people are bringing awareness to the devastating effects of mental health in regards to veterans. And there's awareness, but who's actually doing something about it? And with my personal experience having gone through it, and with my professional experience of actually seeing what is working for veterans, we're actually doing something about it with Operation Warrior Resolution. So please go to operationwarriorresolution.org to help support healing these warriors.
Go to that website, make a contribution, and help someone who has helped us. Give freedom to those who have fought for our freedom.
Thank you, dear.
Thanks for having me.